And here it is. Here it is. It is here. Here I am. Hope you're there. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Here it is. It is here. Here I am. Hope you're there. The session commences and your company is required. So situate yourself in the front of whichever device that you use to interact with the session. An important day today, the demise of the Alaafin of Oyo, of course, one of the narratives that we'll be talking about, and plenty to discuss in between. So the usual accoutrements is in place. So just avail yourself of the session. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika kokwa na mnoa. Hey, anamekele maduche mefo. Mwanemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. Gonna sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right, moving faster, never freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior.
So there it is, holy, holy from the east, Odumegu, Ojuko, their other savior. So from all of that to this, holy, holy, but apparently holy no more in the city of Oyo. Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, is dead. It's just as simple and to the point as that. He was 83 years old and reigned for a very long time. So we'll discuss all of that, the passing away. So the world comes to an end with the demise of the Alaafin of Oyo. So the world has come to an end, and the world will be rebirthed when the Oyomesis announce rather who will step next on that stool. So the world has come to an end as we speak now. So we are in abeyance as a world until the Oyomesi tells us now who will rebirth the world. So the world demises with the passing, of course, of the Alaafin. Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, is dead. So all of that will go through, and then we'll go from that to this in a world that doesn't exist now. Also, rock Cabal in dilemma over Buhari's successor. So when are they ever not in dilemma? The Tuwo Mountain Fulanis from the back of beyond. So this is the thing. They are in dilemma and thrown the whole country into confusion. APC, tension in Buhari House. So Buhari House, of course, is the name of the building of the APC. This is the thing that this guy is doing, by the way. Buhari is doing that Arabian thing. If you go to any country in Arabia, you'll see the images of their ruler pasted all over the country, from hotel to hotel, from billboards to boulevards. It's like a personal ownership of a state. And this is what Buhari is trying to replicate in Nigeria. Naming bridges after himself, naming buildings after himself. This is what this element is doing. APC, tension in Buhari House as ADAMU suspends all directors. So, of course, he's a hatchet man on a hatchet job. So quite who is hacking at, we'll find out just shortly. And then it looks as though this mystery, which is not so much a mystery because we know who they are, is fast unraveling. Breaking, Southeast unknown gunmen release first ever video, opens up on real mission. So what exactly they are after, we of course know they're just criminals, but then they claim to have a mission. It's a bit like Boko Haram saying that they are fighting or the the militant insurgency in the north, saying they are fighting for anything. They are not fighting for anything. They are on a land grab and a money grab. So replicates in the east as well. So there's no greater purpose to them. They're just gunmen on a smash and grab. So the smash and grab now, they're trying to color it with some legitimacy. Southeast unknown gunmen released first ever video, opens up on real mission. So quite what's the mission of a bunch of rascals from the southeast is, we'll find out just shortly. So all of that in play, but before we get into any of it, the usual protocol, click on the like button if you have not already, and if you are not subscribed to the channel, then what are you doing? Do the right thing and subscribe to the channel. But before you do all of that, to attention as we come in formally into the session. This was how the Alaafin came onto his stool, to the beats of the stone.
The Nigerian national anthem, Mr. Albert Congo raises the flag of the new nation.
And there it is. Nigeria may be blessed. Blessed once upon a time with an Alaafin, of course. Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, is dead. Top Yoruba monarch, the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Lamidi Adeyemi, has passed on. Correspondents can report. Alaafin Adeyemi, the third from the Olowolodu ruling house, died in the late hours of Friday at the Afe Babalola University Teaching Hospital, Ado Ekiti, the capital of Ekiti State in southwest Nigeria. The remains of the top Yoruba traditional ruler was brought to Oyo town, 62 kilometers from Ibadan, the Oyo state capital, in the early hours of Saturday, and traditional rites began, palace sources told correspondents. He was 83 years old and the longest reigning Alaafin ever, having ruled for 52 years. The governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, is expected to make an official announcement upon receiving the report of the monarch's passing from the Bashorun of Oyo, Yusuf Akinlade, the head of the Oyomesi, who will now lead Oyo town before a new Alaafin is installed. The monarch had been sick and a plan had been made to fly him abroad before he was. The monarch had been sick and plans had been made to fly him abroad before he passed on late Friday night. A source familiar with the medical travel plan said his tickets and those of a few wives were already procured. His death came months after the two other senior Oyo State monarchs, the Olubadan of Ibadan, Asaliu Adetunji, and the Shoun of Ogbomoso, Jimoh Oyewumi, died. All happened in less than 5 months. A new Olubadan has been installed, but the Shoun throne remains vacant. Alaafin Adeyemi was born Lamidi Olayiwola Atanda Adeyemi on October the 15th, 1938, into the Olowolodu Royal House of the famous Oyo town. He was crowned on November the 18th, 1970, succeeding Oba Gbadegesin Ladigbolu I. He was known popularly as Iku Baba Yeye. Whilst he reigned, he was the paramount chair of the Oyo State Council of Obas and Chiefs. With the demise of Alaafin Adeyemi, it is now the turn of the Ogunloye ruling house to produce the next Oyo monarch. Adeyemi's predecessor, Alaafin Ladigbolu, was from the Ogunloye house. So there it is right there. The Ogun. So it's not essentially along family lines, but along family stools. So it's not essentially one of his sons that will certainly from the arrangement that seems to be in place. So it's not his family that will now take the throne. It's the Ogunloye house that now has their turn. He's succeeding the Ogunloye house, who now to succeed him by whoever the Oyomesi deems that the Ifa has chosen. So there it is right there, and just a little video commemoration just to mark the passing of the king of the world. So the king of the world, the demise of the king of the world. So it's quite interesting how these things happen because I caught a little, I'm just watching that clip just with you then, just so I could react to it. And I caught a little snippet of somebody saying, you know, that is to say that they are not letting the Shango worshippers enter. So it's always interesting, all these monarchs that we have in Yoruba land now, that they double both as the custodians of the deity, but then also following one of the Arabian religions, one of the Middle Eastern religions, whether Christianity or Islam mainly. So it's funny because if you look at the people gathered there, they were essentially clothed in Islamic garb. But the Alaafin, of course, a custodian of Yoruba deity, along equally to the Oni of Ife as well. To the point then that I distinctly heard somebody said, "Wọ́n jẹ́ kó ní Ṣàngó wọlé," that they are not letting the Ṣàngó worshippers come into the Afin palace, which belongs to them. So this is the intricacies that is in play now in Yoruba land. We'll listen to that clip again at some point. Maybe I misheard. So from that to this, Aso Rock Cabal in dilemma over Buhari's successor. The cabal around President Muhammad Buhari has been thrown into a dilemma on pushing forward a successor to the outgoing president after ruling out a number of powerful individuals in the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, including some within the party. So from that opening paragraph already, that tells you a lot already. Excuse me, especially the latter half of it. After ruling out a number of powerful individuals in the ruling party, so that they've ruled out Tinubu, essentially, is what that tells you. So after ruling out a number of powerful individuals in the ruling All Progressive Congress, so that tells you they don't want Tinubu, including some within the government. So including some within the government, that captures Oshibanjo as well. So they don't want Tinubu and they don't want Oshibanjo, and they essentially do not want a Yoruba man, but they don't have sufficient enough within Rotimi Amaechi to make a president. And Goodluck Jonathan is proving difficult to get. So this is where they are. The cabal around President Muhammad Buhari has thrown into a dilemma. The cabal around President Muhammad Buhari has been thrown into a dilemma on pushing forward a successor to the outgoing president after ruling out a number of powerful individuals in the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, including some within the government. Whilst the cabal is said to know those in their permutation who will not succeed Buhari, they are, according to multiple sources, confused over who will. That confusion in finding an amenable southern presidential material, according to multiple sources, was at the weekend giving life to the once unfathomable prospect of the dutiful Minister of State for Petroleum, Temipre Silva, emerging as Buhari's proverbial dark horse. So Temipre Silva now, of all of the names that we can conjure with, Temipre Silva, even the cabal cannot push that one, I suspect. APC sources in Bayelsa and authorities APC sources in Bayelsa and authoritative sources in Abuja gave credence to the permutation on Silva, which, though had been mentioned in the past, was now getting a life of its own. The powerful cabal around the president, consisting mostly of kin from Katsina and party loyalists from the north, it was gathered, have been flummoxed by the determination of some of those they had initially ruled out from forging ahead. Two of those, it was gathered, are Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, who it was learned has insisted on exercising his democratic rights in a free and fair primary. He appears to be the man to beat. All things being equal. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, another prospect, has also shocked the cabal with the weight of favor that his aspiration has garnered. However, the cabal, it was gathered, is unshaken by different polls and studies that puts Osinbajo as one of the best bets for the APC to retain power in 2023 with insinuations of lack of trust in the professor. The prospects of Governor Kayode Fayemi, who is also said to be preparing to roll out his campaign, are also said not to have won the favor of the cabal. However, many, mostly from the south, including Rotimi Amaechi, Ibukunle Amosun, President Goodluck Jonathan, amongst others, are said to have been considered by the cabal. Jonathan, it was gathered, however, given as his condition that he must be adopted as a consensus, a prospect that the cabal has not been able to guarantee. So there it is right there. Hold on, let's see if it continues. Indicative of the continuing negotiations and prospects on the former PDP president yesterday, Jonathan told demonstrators bussed to his Abuja office. So listen to that already. He told demonstrators bussed into his Abuja office. So they were ferried there. So essentially, it was an orchestrated presentation that happened yesterday. So it wasn't a crowd that gathered spontaneously. They were commissioned and gathered and given placards. Remember when we saw somebody doing a Buhari placard and they were holding it upside down and somebody approached them like, what is going on? They said, no, they just gave me 2,000 naira and told me to hold this. So this is essentially what they do. Indicative of the continuing negotiations and prospects on the former PDP president, yesterday, Jonathan told demonstrators bussed to his Abuja office to encourage him to run to still wait, noting that the road was not yet clear. The confusion in the camp of the cabal, it was gathered, has led to the prospect on silver. Multiple sources in Abuja and Bayelsa confirmed the development yesterday. Dofai Ola, State Publicity Secretary of the APC in Bayelsa State, and who before then was Silva's Chief Press Secretary as governor, rebuffed comments on the issue when contacted by correspondents. I have no comment on what you have asked, he told correspondents. His sealed lips, according to sources, follows strict instructions from the minister to aides not to comment on the issue. However, other loyalists of the minister revealed to correspondents that it is a process that however, other loyalists of the ministers revealed to correspondents that it is a process that work on the silver presidential ambition has been ongoing for some time. However, many sources would not comment on what positives that have drawn cabal. However, many sources would not comment on what positives that have drawn silver to the cabal. However, a critical stakeholder in the APC told correspondents that the cabal wants somebody amenable that they can control as president, and that Silva may have been an easy choice for them. They want somebody that will be willing and amenable, and that is where Silva fits the bill, as he is willing to be and is also amenable in the eyes of the Northern Cabal. You can see how they have trusted him with the Petroleum Ministry for almost 4 years, unlike the other man from Delta, Ibe Ika Chiku, one of the sources privy to Silva's project disclosed yesterday. It was also gathered that the aspiration of the Transportation Minister Rotimi Amechi is also weighing on the conscience of some of the northern leaders. Those looking at Amechi believe that it is a matter of conscience, that he has given much to the party and also delivered the president twice. But some of them frown at his swagger, as shown at his declaration when he ran around the stadium saying it was unpresidential. Meanwhile, the prospect of Silva emerging as the PDP's dark horse gladdened the hearts of the chieftains in the PDP aligned to Atiku Abubakar. According to one reliable source, the emergence of Silva will make a sweet victory for Atiku, as displeased Yoruba APC chiefs and others would easily push support to Atiku if he emerges a PDP candidate. The enthusiasm of the Atiku camp correspondents can report, however, does not reflect in the camp of Yemsen Wike who believe they are ahead despite the emergence of Governor Udem Emmanuel, whom they claim may have been enrolled into the race to cut Wike's momentum. So there it is right there, the intricacies of our politics. So the outtake of that, of course, is that the cabal, one, they don't want Tinubu or Oshibanjo for reasons that they know categorically that Tinubu cannot be manipulated, and they have the suspicion that it's too slippery a snake for anybody to put any trust in Oshibanjo. If it gets that space, it could be a demon, and almost certainly will be a demon. So they have no faith in either Tinubu or Shibanjo. And essentially, they have no faith in the Yoruba space because they know that the Yoruba space are not maneuverable to manipulation. But Timothy Silva, who Bonam, who be in Papa, he will do as they tell him. But how are they going to foist an element like that on the Nigerian state? So the Cabal continue to search for their dark horse as the Oshibanjo Tinubu momentum continue to gather steam. APC, tension, but they continue to conspire, the Cabal, and onto their next conspiracy. APC, tension in Buhari House as ADAMU suspends all directors. A pall of gloom descended on the Abuja House National Secretariat of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC on Friday, following the decision of the national chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, ordering all departmental directors at the party headquarters to proceed on indefinite suspension. So, pardon me. So, it's quite pertinent to note what the order is. So, there's so many ways that he could take them out of situation, but he told them to proceed on indefinite suspension. So, suspension often instances without pay, but indefinite leave often instances with pay. So, he suspended them without pay, essentially a precursor to a sacking. So he's going to sack them, or essentially sacked them. Adamu had, on assumption of office on April the 1st, hinted at the possibility of reorganizing the National Secretariat. He has, in the interim, embarked on remodeling the party secretariat, relocating his office from the 3rd to the ground floor. On April the 1st, Adamu had disclosed the possibility of probing the staff of the Secretariat, especially its directors. The former Nasarawa governor declared that the party could not continue to carry on with the old way of doing things, adding that his administration will have zero tolerance for failure. So his speech, as for you, the director of administration, you have no hiding place. We will count on your loyalty to the party. It is in God's pleasure that we are here at the helm of affairs of this party. We have come with a very open mind, but you have to reciprocate in the same spirit. We will definitely, by the will of God Almighty, the Secretariat, we will definitely, by the will of God Almighty, the Secretariat, we need to look at you, but I am not saying anything today until the transition committee submits its report. It is my hope that by the time the reports are submitted, you will have what they call a clean bill of ledger. That is my prayer, right? We have zero tolerance for failure in this new dispensation of our great party, he had declared. He immediately set up a transition committee headed by a former governor of Jigawa State, Ali Saud Banin Kadu, to study the handing over a note of the defunct caretaker committee and other sundry matters affecting the national secretariat of the party. On Friday, however, correspondents gathered that Adamu, based on the committee's recommendation, decided to suspend the directors as about eight of them. Some of the departments include those administration. This is how it's written, by the way, not me reading it badly. Some of the departments include those administration, organization, welfare, strategy, legal, and publicity. Adamu's action is the first of its kind at the secretariat. On assumption of office on June 2020, the then national chairman, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, has said he would reorganize the secretariat by removing those who had no business at the party house. He indeed embarked on some form of staff verification and weeded out those found wanting. So there it is, right there, the big axe wields in our APC Central. They're clearing the deck, of course, so that he can become a lord in that space. So strike fear into their heart and then seize charge of their souls. This is what is playing out. Southeast unknown gunmen released first ever video, opens up on real mission. The so-called unknown gunmen terrorizing major parts of Nigeria's southeast region since last year have released a video where they outlined their objectives. In the 2-minute 55-second clip shot in a forest obtained by correspondents, one person amongst the gunmen said their grouse is the detainment of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra IPOB. It also claimed that it has no sponsor, whilst insisting anybody that attempts any election will die. The video was released on Thursday, April the 21st, 2022. We, the unknown gunmen in Biafra land, have come to make our position known to the public. We are here to protect our fatherland by all means. We don't have any sponsors, and we are not planning to have, a gunman said. We are not under the command of Simon Ekpa, DOS, or Awazurike. Any government giving any of these people money is wasting their time. Only the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will calm us down. Monday's sit at home is sacrosanct. Nothing can stop it apart from the release of Nnamdi Kanu. There shall be no election, and anybody that attempts any election matter will die. Separatist violence is on the rise in the southeast, same as the mindless killings. So there it is right there. So that's the last readout, but I have a little clip of this alleged unknown gunmen, which I shall play to you guys, and then I will come to Ashenin Shere first to sample his opinion. But let me give you a little soupçon of what these so-called unknown gunmen have to say. So here are the rascals from the east.
Warning, warning, warning. We thank the gods of the land so much for making us see today, 21st of April 2022. We, the unknown gunmen in Biafra land, have come to make our position known to the public. We are here to protect our fatherland by all means. We don't have any sponsor, and we are not planning to have. We are not under the command of Simon Ekpa, DOS or Owazirike. Any government giving any of these people money is wasting their time. Only the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can calm us down. One day sit at home is sacrosanct. Nothing can stop it, apart from the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There shall be no election, and anybody that attempts any election matter will die. A more powerful, Chinasa Nworu, Justice Udo, who they also call enemy, and 3 other persons in USA, who we are still trying to get to their full identity, have been bribed by the government of Nigeria. You people sent men to harm.
So there it is, the usual noise making from the east. So Baba Kure, so let's start you off from there. The unknown gunmen, now known gunmen, but are we any the wiser on anything that they have to say? Just the usual gibberish from the east. Baba Kure.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Like Thomas,
This is it. The Australian man.
Anyway, it is just nonsense they are talking about. You can, to me, I don't really believe in what they are saying. Like nobody is sponsoring them. So if nobody is sponsoring you, how are you getting money to buy ammunition? Are you getting money to buy this? How are you getting money to buy that? There is nothing wrong since government failed to protect its citizens. There is nothing wrong in you defending your land from invasion, making sure that your people are doing okay. They can go to farm, they can plant their crop and guard them. But the issue of killing one another, it is unacceptable. And the fact that the election is not going to be held in the eastern part of Nigeria, where the only way they can do it is to sit at home, like the way they usually do. But if you think that because of gun and bullet, that is why the election is not going to be held, the election is going to be held and it will go. So that is just nonsense they are talking about here. So that is my take on that.
All right, thank you, Babakure. It's just a total nonsense. It's just silly boys playing toy soldiers with guns, but they are taking real human lives. It's just a thing, just a nonsense. They think it's a game, they think it's a movie, but they are killing people. It's just a total nonsense. But from that to more serious matters, the world came to an end yesterday, Babakure. The demise of the mighty Alaafin Of Oyo. Your take on that, Oba Alaafin?
It is very sad when I heard about about it this morning, particularly from this from your write up here. Before I came in, I saw that Alaafin is gone. Then I had to go to the Nigerian newspaper because I don't really want to read Nigeria's newspaper because there's nothing really good that we are going to read about it. So then that was where I now confirmed that, oh boy, that is very, very sad anyway. I see here that somebody mentioned that Alaafin, like we burn.
No, I've removed that person. What an idiotic thing.
Even if you don't like the man. Very idiotic. You can say that one man. Yeah. Even the politician that is taking your money every single day, you always run after them. They will give you 5,000 again and you go and vote for them. You will always support those who are mostly oppressing you. So you might have different opinion. He may not support your cause, maybe Yoruba Nation or IPOP or whatever. Well, that is own personal choice. So, like me, when I read about that, I felt very, very bad because no matter what, you will still miss him. And one man, you don't supposed to have any program today. You're supposed to have your flag
a day of mourning. A day of mourning. No, we have to acknowledge the passing of the world king.
Actually, it is very sad. It is very sad, and I think
there seems to be a cleansing in Yoruba land.
And I think we should give maybe 1 minute silence for him.
All right, maybe 30 seconds. Let's do. We have a countdown, so let's do that. Yes, well said, Babakure. So let me bring it up. So 30 seconds for the passing of the world king. Okay, not quite a minute silent, but I think that would that's yes. But I was saying that there seems to be a cleansing in Yoruba land, because just as I was reading that, so many kings, they've just passed away. You say that they are of that age where they will be passing away very much close to each other, but within 5 months, the Shon of Ogbomoso gone, the Olubadan gone and replaced. Now, of course, the top dog, the one of one, alpha one of Yoruba land, Alaafin Of Oyo.
Well, like well, to me, I don't really read meaning to that. Like maybe something suspicious is going on. I'm not going to read meaning to that. I think it is just the right time for them to just pass on. That is my take on that. I'm not going to read any meaning. Maybe something.
You don't think it's the deity is calling them?
I don't think so. It is just the time. It has been appointed that you have to die one day. Either way. No matter how person die, that is the appointed time for that person to die. So that is it. So it is very sad when I read about his demise. It is very, very sad. In fact, I was moved. Actually, I like him.
He never appeared like he was going to die, because every time you see him, he's still,
that is what I
for
want
his
to say.
age, still very energized and
very, 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 very strong.
Both physically
exactly
and mentally. Yeah. So go
because
on,
you will see him go on the track and run and like even what he's doing self, I cannot even try that. Honestly, because you see the man how he punch and stuff like that.
You know, he used to be a boxer.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
Boxer. Yeah.
So even with his age, what he's doing sometimes, and I cannot even attempt that. And I will say to myself, I can't do this, because the way the man is boxing and stuff like that. In fact, that is one of the reasons why I said, seriously, the man died, because the way is still very strong. So it is,
and all those young babes that is been marrying every year. Look at that.
My wife was talking about it. She said, "Oh, all those young ladies now, they will run away now because they've already got enough money to go and establish themselves."
You know, there's something they call. Do you know what they call shukbo in Yoruba land? Shukbo.
Yes.
So whoever comes in now as the king, so he already has like a nice dish.
One man. I don't think they will agree with all that crap, man. I don't think.
It's tradition now.
I know it is tradition, but the tradition doesn't give the incoming king right to say where I that have to inherit the wife of previous king. It's never done. One man, it's never done.
I thought it was obliged to that you take the throne and everything that goes with it.
No. It doesn't work like that. If it is family, make it like like brother to brother. Where they might say, where you are going to inherit this your brother's wife or your brother's wife, and it also depends on that brother if you really want to do that or not. So it's not something that it is not very common these days anyway. It's not very common like it used to be, in olden days. So let alone incoming king will inherit the late king's wives. For where do you don't even know how many wives that the incoming kings have self?
Do we even know how many wives this this king has? Because he just, even the ones that have run away, they are more than people's wives in total. He must have at least 10 wives.
I think it is more than that.
Yes,
I think it's more than that. I think it will have up to 18, based on my calculation. But because right now I think he has about 6 or something like that right now. And they are very, very young girls. Young girls.
I don't approve of that. For somebody in his 80s to be marrying some 30-year-old girl, you just want to destroy her life, don't you? Really?
Destroy whose life?
The girl's life now.
No, it is. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. They marry the man because of the money they are going to get, and the popularity that come with it. So it's not issue of the king.
There's so many elements. So they are out of the generational loop. So what sort of conversation are they able to have as a couple? One. And then what level of physicality is left in an 80-something-year-old man that will meet the physical needs of a 30-year-old girl? Two. And then an 80-something-year-old man, God bless him with a long life, but what does he have? Another 10 years left thereabout. For a 30-year-old girl, in 10 years' time, she's 40, she's still a babe. You know, so it's just, you know, it
is the wish of those girls you're talking about to marry the king. I am telling you. Anyway, I could be wrong, but in my own opinion, I think they marry him because of the money. It's not because king has right to marry you. And when in Yoruba land they say when king say okay, they want to marry you, you have to marry the king. You know, it is those babes, they want to see how much money they can get and to establish themselves. That's all. And
so you don't see it as a besele sort of.
No, I don't see it that way, because like you rightly said, what's 80 years old man is going to do? How much? I can tell you, maybe it's not even having fun with them at all.
No, I don't think that's what I'm saying.
Because I don't know what he's going to do.
Because that one is beyond Viagra. That one is just surrender. It's beyond Viagra.
You could be very strong in boxing and running and stuff like that, but when it gets to that, it's totally different. It is totally different. So I think those babes or those girls marry him because of what they will get and the popularity that attached to it. Because remember, if the king is going to Aso Rock, they always go with him. So they have that connections. So the connection is there. So and remember when he's traveling to anywhere in the world, they always follow him. So
yes.
So they've already get all that privileges and get the money and get the fame and get whatever they want. That is all what they want.
But Baba Akure, they scramble to replace him now, because a lot of people will argue that this is the foremost Yoruba stool. You know, this is essentially in terms of Obas, you have to concede that this is the most prized Obaship stool in Yoruba land. So they are saying that they are doing it by delay. So one, would they even try and battle that we are not using that system, and even within the delay that is next? So that is what that's at least $1 billion stool for the next, because we're expecting some yoppy guy like they have in Ife. So we're expecting some young and funky person. Like the Olubadan that they have, who is young and funky. So we're expecting some young and funky person. But who are they going to pick? So a lot now lying on the Oyomesis now. Everybody will be visiting the Oyomesis with bags of dollars. But we don't want them to hold it for too long. Yeah.
That you are very right. Well, what they will do, they may likely put somebody there like Adele. So who will be on the throne for the meantime until when?
That is the Basharon. That is the Basharon. The Basharon will be the Adele. Yes.
Okay, so before they find somebody who is capable, because right now, like you rightly said, they will like to find somebody who's young. Because if you look at Sean of Ogbomoso, the man used to be the redeem pastor in US. Then he had to go back home to take the kingship. So you will see now that, look at Oluwo. So you will see now
we don't want.
I'm just saying like age. So nobody really want to put anybody who's.
You don't want anybody above 50, really. Ideally, somebody like look at what they have in Wari. Young and funky. So some young and funky guys.
Exactly. And he has to be very, very educated person.
Of course, without
not
question.
Somebody that just go to standard 6. In fact, so you can see now this will allow me to bring the issue of this kingship and the trend of youthfulness. I mean, youthful people that they are putting to the throne now, to our politics in Nigeria. If you see kings now, they are putting those people who are like under 70 on the throne. But we, our politician, now trying to put those who are 70, anyway, those even though they reduce their age, they want to put those who are 70, 80 years to be the president who will be running around. So you can see the difference between what is going in the community now, in the issue of making kings, to what is going on in the old Nigeria. So let's go back to that issue of king. In fact, the kingmaker now will make a lot of money, because a lot of people will be, a lot of prince will be coming to give them money. Okay, it is I want you to support me. But you mentioned that there is a family that's supposed to go on the throne now, right? To ascend to the throne. So Lamidi family cannot touch it now.
Yeah.
So it has to go to that family. But in that family, you may have maybe 10 or 15 people that will be fighting for that throne. So it means that money has to exchange.
Of course. And so Babalawos and Oyomesis, everybody,
exactly.
And pastors and our fast, everything.
Exactly. You never
everybody will be hearing a lot in their bank account now.
Exactly. And it's not going to limited to Oyo State, because remember, this is a prominent king. It's
yes,
not just
the Oni will have a say.
Exactly. So even go to all the Yoruba states. You will see this one calling governors, and they want support, and so all these things will be going on right now. So it is who can spend more money, and those who have that connection that will, of course, take the throne. And we should not also forget that it doesn't really matter. The issue of using Ifa oracle to determine who is the best is still very much alive. They will do that as well, but don't be surprised when Ifa priest change
yes. Odo something we don't need to do.
Exactly. Don't be surprised.
We don't do your part.
Don't be surprised when you see.
If tomorrow on paro,
don't be surprised when brand new vehicle drove right to the compound of Ifa priest, and Ifa priest are now change the donation of the. Change the donation of the oracle. So all that we might come out, but we just hope for the best, and we hope for the younger person like Oni of Ife, like Sean of Ogomosho, and well-educated individual to take the throne.
Interesting times for the Oyo space, but he ruled for 52 years, the longest reigning Alaafin of Oyo. And he, for me, he was excellent in the job, well-spoken, very sharp in the mind. He is exactly how you want a Yoruba Oba to be, for me.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I think he really tried his own best. Though all of us, we are all sinners. There's no way you can walk without your head being shaken. So, but to me, he did well, at least to his own capacity. So, and he will be greatly missed, no matter what.
All right, thank you, Baba Kore. So Baba relay to the Alaafin of Oyo. Also from Baba relay to Babambo. So we go to the politics now. The Aso Rock Cabal in dilemma over Buhari's successor. So they already categorically know who they don't want to succeed Buhari, but they are still shopping for who will succeed Buhari. Because you see, even though they know that a new president has to come in, they still want to control the seat of power. So the person that they want to have there will be somebody that is malleable, somebody that is manipulatable, somebody that they will tell to sit and will sit. But surprisingly, that person is very difficult to find at the presidential level, because anybody that even has any hint of credibility at being a president is not really the type that you tell to sit and will sit. So somebody like Tinubu will not sit and you tell him to sit, and then Oshibanjo, etc. So, and these are presidential type people, Atiku. But Rotimi Amechi, Timi Silva, they will sit, but they are not presidential. So this is the dilemma that the Fulani cabals in Aso Rock are having, Baba Kure.
Well, thank you very much for that. Actually, what is going on in Nigeria is a very funny one right now. There is no way we will always mention the issue of North and South. Because if you look at, I'm going to start with issue of PDP. PDP throw the ticket open. So they are trying to shovel some people from the North and some people from the South, so that two of them can now vying for that position. Whoever get the ticket, so be it. If it comes from North, so be it. Now the issue of APC is also going to that way, because with what we are seeing, North is trying to put themselves there. It still doesn't really matter either Rotimi Amechi or whatever nonsense that is going on right now. I read in Vanguard this morning, some group of people, they came together. They said, "Oh well, they have to buy ticket for Brutai," and this message came from presidency.
Brutai.
Yes, you can go to Vanguard and read it. They say, okay, because with the security situation in Nigeria, he is the best person to take the position. Where is he going to buy the ticket? He is going to buy that ticket under APC. So what are we talking about here? So these people don't want to leave this power for anybody in the South, based on what we are seeing here. And I can bet it with you, even if APC nominate Tinubu or nominate Oshibanjo or the so-called man from Port Harcourt, you can bet it with me, they are not going to vote for them. They will rather vote, if Atiku get the ticket for PDP, they will rather support Atiku. Remember what happened during Goodluck Jonathan and Baba Ahmed. Even though he was member of PDP, he said on Arise TV that they work against Jonathan in order to put Buhari there.
Exactly, Baba Kure. That was what I was saying yesterday. That that tribal and religious will still, will still prevail largely in the north.
Exactly. So this is exactly what is going to happen in this 2023 election. So the North don't want to relinquish power to anybody in the South. That is the game they are playing here. Because if presidency brought out information that some group want to buy 100 million nomination certificate
for Brutai.
Is it not under APC? Is not showing you that these people don't want to leave power?
You see, a lot of the buying of the nomination forms is to just still have a foot in the game. You understand? That's not essentially to say that candidate might be promoted seriously, but 100 million naira to those people is probably like £10 to me or $10 to you. Something that you just give to a child to get out of your sight for a moment,
You can go and take it.
So yes, so yes, go, you see, just like you are telling your daughter to go and take the $10 now. So it's not real money to those people, but for them to have him in play, they would just buy the nomination form and say, okay, you are still in the bet.
Well, that is true anyway, but we can say that, but we should also read it in that way that I just mentioned. These people, it doesn't really matter. Buhari might not be the best candidate for them, but it is showing you that these people don't want to leave power for anybody in the South that is not going to support them or do their own bid. The same wrote to me, Amechi, how much do they trust in himself? How much do they trust?
They don't trust him at all. It's the thing.
So
they were irritated by that is running around during his presidential.
So like mocking Buhari. So now, if that is happening, and like I said, if Atiku eventually get the nomination for PDP, these people will be supporting him. They will support him 100%. Support is going to get from the northern part of Nigeria. So what will be our own game? Nothing. So
I think they can read the signals too that the South, if they force a northern president, they'll be taking a huge gamble, and it is a gamble that they know will not pay out for themselves, especially the APC. If the PDP presents a northern president and he gets voted in, I think the South will stomach that more than an APC northern president, because they know that APC don't pay, they'll just force it through.
Well, that you see, one man, we are still gambling in Nigeria anyway, because I do hope the prediction of Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho, those who anyway, we all support Yoruba nation, and some people support
Biafra nation. Yeah.
So I hope it's not going to end up in that.
Well, I hope it does.
Well, I'm just talking in other way round, right?
Yeah.
So it might eventually end up in that. Then you see, Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu will now be the prophet of our time at that time.
This is it.
Because with the game that is going on right now, I don't see these people giving. I don't really see them. I'm not really convinced that these people really want power to shift to the South.
They don't want it, but as you are reading those signals, I'm reading those signals, but they are also reading those signals, because Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho and Professor Aketoye, they've already ignited that ethnic nationality within the big ethnic nations in the South. So that narrative is already bubbling, and they've used force to hold it down. They shot Sunday Igboho, they cage Nnamdi Kanu. But then if the power does not come into the South, then they have to cage and shoot everybody in the South, because everybody in Yoruba land now is now a Yoruba nation, and everybody in the East now, they're now Igbo nation. So they have to do a lot of killing to hold on to that power.
That is true anyway, but the issue is that they cannot even do a lot of killings, because like Yoruba proverbs say, the incident that happened in Igboho's house, it has Yoruba hand in it. If they do not, that wouldn't have happened. So now, as we are seeing what is going on right now, everybody will have to support themselves. Though there is no way we will still have some traitor anyway, but at least the large population will support one another, that, okay, this is exactly what we want. And maybe that will be when that Yoruba nation will come to fulfillment, and that Biafra nation will come to fulfillment.
There's a part of me that actually wants them to force a Fulani man on us again, so that will fast forward Yoruba nation. So I want to hear the Yoruba man that will, after in 2023, having a Fulani man still ruling over him, coming here to talk about one Nigeria. I want to see that person.
Well, that is well, like me, I'm not going to support that. Like that, okay, one Hausa man continue to rule us. But if that happens, well, we might be saying, oh, nothing is going to happen in Nigeria. A lot of things will happen.
A
We
lot
just
of
sit
things were
down here,
happening.
we're talking and talking and talking. Oh, Yoruba nation, Biafra nation.
Baba Kure,
It will. Yeah.
Hausa man is even okay. We are talking about the same.
Yeah, no, Baba Kure, we understood. Baba Kure was saying in broad, all of them could join together. Yes.
So we say, oh, the Yoruba nation, Biafra nation will not happen in our lifetime. You just wait with what is going on right now in this Nigeria right now with this politics that is being played right now. You never can tell. Maybe it will happen in the next few years. That will be so surprised. That seriously. So we just sit down here and talking and we need to read a lot of meaning to what is going on in Nigeria right now. We need to read meaning to a lot of things that is going on in Nigeria. So that is my take on that.
One man, sorry, before I go, can I ask Baba Kure just maybe, and also anyone that want to say something about that? Now, do you think that Atiku is like an underground strategy for the North also to also remain in power?
Of course.
Because it's looking most likely that even some of the many people of the South look at someone like Reno Mokri, all these people online campaigning for him. So it's looking like so many people from the South might even blindly and or with their illusion, favor him.
He's not going to where or Mokri can be campaigning because they are from the same party. But just wait until that time when the nomination ticket goes to the North. For PDP goes to the North, and then hopefully maybe the nomination for APC also will go to the North also. Then we now see what will happen, because we like I said, we sit down here and we're talking. The same brutal that we say, oh, yeah, he's just getting ticket. You don't know what is going on undergroundly. You don't know, because if the presidency can come out by themselves and say, oh, well, some group came up and they want to buy a ticket for Brutai. So it could be that, okay, that is the person that they really want. We don't really know, because these people are very scampish. They play their game. It is we always it is we in the southern part of Nigeria that always tell our secret, and we also show ourselves very fast. These people are very very cunning. Just wait and see. So if the ticket go to the North, the two tickets go to the North, do you think Rino Mokere will have anything to say? Do you think it will be campaigning for anybody? How they will get Yoruba nation is what they will be campaigning about. Just wait and see.
Now, Reno Mokri I've never liked him. There's just something about that guy that puts me off. It's a bit funny, sort of.
I think he dives into different spaces.
He acts more like Rebecca Omokri than Reno, if you get my meaning.
Yeah, he dives into anytime he wants to get Yoruba attention or support, he will say something to make Yorubas happy. Anytime he wants to get Igbo, he's just playing all sides.
How does he define himself? Is he one of the Igbo people? Is he one of yours?
He should be more towards the Yoruba, because he's a what are those people called? Ishekiri. So he should be more towards Yoruba.
Oh, okay, so it's a sapele water sort of. Okay.
We don't want him.
No.
For free.
It's like
you can have
it's like one of those Thailand people. Those Thailand people.
That's where it's from now. Nobody can take it. Babati is saying we don't want him. And
we are giving it to
there.
you
want
him.
It strikes me more like an Igbo man anyway. His
exactly.
name and his behavior. Yeah.
Someone that was online the other day praising Yorubas. The man is a Yoruba man. I don't know why people are denying.
There is nothing much different between Rino Omokri and Femi Fani-Kayode. If you
prostitutes, the two of them.
Yeah. So sometimes they will praise Yoruba, sometimes they will praise now sometimes they will praise Igbo. So they are all in the same bracket. Rino Omokri and our vice president, because he is contesting with with this guy in Delta State now. I mean, Kogi is the vice to Kogi governor.
So sorry, is it the deputy for Yaya Bello?
Yeah, it's the deputy for is the vice for Yaya Bello. Is the vice for Yaya Bello, yeah.
Imagine that for a moment. Imagine that for a moment.
I saw their poster somewhere.
In fact, I will go personally to Aso Rock and set fire on the place. Yaya Bello president, Femi Fani-Kayode vice president. And let's just, you know, God Almighty. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Unbelievable. But then there it is. But the goings on in APC even more unbelievable. Tension in Buhari house as ADAMU suspends all directors. So this is the new chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Adamu. So he lands with a bang, of course. Strike fear in their heart is the usual technique of the Fulanis. And he, to that template, APC, tension in Buhari house as Adamu suspends all directors. So this is his introduction of how his tenure is going to go. So what are you then making of this Fulani man making Fulani moves?
Well, the issue is that I think maybe they are not working with him, because remember, he will have his own preference out of all these candidates. And like I said, they might want to pave way. He might want to do that to pave way for the right person that they really wanted to get the nomination certificate. So that is what I read to that. You never can tell. I mentioned Brutai several times on this platform, but they might be doing something that we don't even we can't even imagine is going on. That you'll be so surprised when the result came up. I mean, when the result comes up. So he is clearing the house, sacking all the directors to pave way for the right people that will do his own bid, that will do their bid, that will support those people that, I mean, the individual that they want in their mind to be the candidate for APC. That is my reading to that.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Babakure. So from let's go on from you, Babakure, to let's go to Ajanle Koko, who hopefully is with us, or to Thomas if Ajanle Koko is not ready. So Ajanle Koko, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, one man. How are you?
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. So a sad day for Yoruba land, the passing of the Yoruba paramount king. Baba Tirele, you know, bye-bye. You know, not to see anymore. The Alaafin Of Oyo, RIP.
Well, Baba Waja. Baba served us well. He has served Yoruba land very well. Honorably well. We have to be proud of him. He has never disappointed us. He did very, very well, and he is has been described as the foremost Yoruba king. He's a king that promotes Yoruba culture and tradition. And he's a man that is an historian, vast in history of Yoruba land, as well as the culture and the tradition. You know that that king, there's nothing you can say on the talking drum that he won't understand.
He's steeped in Yoruba. He's a historian, you know, and yes, he's a documenter of facts. You know, when he talks about he spends his money documenting the Yoruba pantology and, you know, making sure that it's, you know, if you're looking for a Yoruba king, is exactly what you look for, complete with the tribal marks, everything Yoruba, apart from the bleached skin, of course.
Yeah, there's nothing you want to, I mean, talking about on the drum, saying and beating the drum, that man can interpret it to you in verbatim. Every single thing.
And he will even correct the drummer that no, but you know.
Yeah. So it's a great loss to Yoruba land. And I don't think in our own lifetime we will see such king again. In my own generation, after Olibushe of Ife, the Okunade Olibushe, I can say is the second when it comes to prominence and the promoters of king of Yoruba culture and tradition. Olibushe during his time, when he speaks, he doesn't often speak. If you go to the palace, he will speak in Yoruba and somebody will interpret in English. That's to show that, look, my language first. So after Olibushe, this man is next. And it's sad that let me come back. Let me come back one moment.
All right, thank you, Ajanle Koko. Let's go on to Thomas. Thomas, are you there? All right, we don't appear to have Thomas. Let's go to Baba T. Baba T, hopefully you are there.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Baba T. Good to hear from you. So from where Ajanle Koko just stepped out at the demise of the Alaafin of Oyo. So what are your memories and thoughts about the paramount king of the Yoruba race?
It's a very sad day. Actually, I had the opportunity of meeting the king, Kabisi, briefly. I was part of the delegates from Dallas, Texas at the time. We were during the drum festival organized in Abeokuta. So they had, so they were trying to, in our quest to reconnect Yorubas across the world, mostly in Brazil and in all those places. We had delegates from the United States, mostly Dallas, Texas. So we had the opportunity of meeting them, and they were trying to do some things in Dallas, just to integrate the Black diaspora, so to reconnect with our lost brothers and sisters. So that's the first time I saw him face to face. And like you said, and like Mr. Koko said, is very versed in the Yoruba. I mean, he's very deep. He knows a lot of stories. And one thing I just hope is that the historians around him sat down with him and to document enough. And because I think that's the thing we've missed in our culture, proper documentation of history. And like you said, he's a historian, and hopefully he's done enough. I mean, people around him have done enough to document history, and he will be missed. To be honest with you, he will be missed. And when I met him in person, he's actually a very funny individual. Like, he does not, like, if you meet him, he does not carry himself like the king. That typical, bow down to me, or is very like one-to-one, very
no
very,
Igberaga.
No. I mean, because I was thinking, maybe because we were delegates from the United States, but when we met him and he said, "Oh, I want more money," that typical. It was very funny. I'm like, wow, he was very, very down to earth, So that was my memory of him, and it's quite unfortunate, and especially at this time that we need a very strong Yoruba voice, and he will be missed. I hope
the Oyomesis have to do the right thing and make sure they pick the right person and not be led by money and their own.
I mean, that throne is one of two that cannot be compromised for the culture. If you know what I mean. Other thrones you can play with, but there's
yes, I mean, you can have an Amugbo as Olubola, but you can't have an Amugbo as the as the Alaafin of Oyo.
There's some thrones that for the sake of the of the land or of the people, because that throne does not only serve we as Yorubas only. as an individual that has traveled across the globe, and actually I'm part of the committee for reconnecting Yorubas in diaspora, like Brazil, Cuba, and all those stuff. And I've been privileged to be in some meetings. I was shocked that we are seen as Yorubas the way Jews are seen in Christianity is the way Yorubas are seen in those countries. We are very revered, and those positions are very respected in those countries. So we need to be very careful.
The Yorubas are an ancient culture. We are old people. We are not new people. We are old. We're an ancient culture. We are old people. We are just we didn't come here yesterday. Now
Right. And I hope we value. I don't think we even value our own importance to the Black race globally the way they see us. Because I've been to those countries, and the way they revere the Ifa tradition is
more than the Yorubas, especially in places like Cuba and Brazil.
Yes,
they
when I was in Jamaica, there's a place called Abeokuta, Jamaica. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, I'm like, no. They're like, seriously, there's a place called Abeokuta in Jamaica, and so we went there, and it's amazing. They kept most of the things intact. They might have they might sound different.
They have a romanticized notion of but still that romance has more elegance than us, that because we just take it for granted that we don't even learn, we don't understand.
Yeah, we do. And when they knew I was a Yoruba person, it was almost like like a Christian looking at a Jew. That was the way they looked at me, like I was from the Holy Land of some sort. And the way they talked about Oshun it was mind blowing.
Did you feel embarrassed that you did not know enough?
No. I was using my, the side part was like I was even using my English name, and I felt bad. Like, oh my God, they're like, what's your name? They're like, what? They're like, no, the way they talked about Yoruba land, like the way you talk about Jerusalem, that's the way they talked about Oshun, like the Alaafin. That's the way they revered our land. And I felt proud and embarrassed at the same time. Like, my God, these people actually, I mean, if I need to do a better job of myself about learning my own culture, the way they see us. So like I said, that position, I hope, like you said, hopefully we follow the Ifa principle please, I don't want to hear I'm a born again king. If you're the king,
what's this new thing? From that little snippet, they were not letting the Ogun worshippers into the palace to come and do the traditional ding dongs.
That was ridiculous. I mean, we know in private what you do. So don't give me I'm a born again Muslim. No, you should not be on that throne if you are professing. I'm a Christian too, but as a Yoruba man, you should not be professing your loyalty to any god and be on that throne.
That's one of the things
that student of tradition. And if you cannot abide by that, please.
Yeah, that's one of the things that upset people the most about the Ooni of Ife, who is always talking about the King of Kings, Christianity, and whatnot. The foremost custodian of Yoruba deities is the Ooni now, Arole Odua. He doesn't even, of course, he knows what that means. So we are not asking you to go and disparage anybody's religion, but certainly stand first and foremost for yours.
Yeah, how can you be an Ooni and saying Jesus is Lord? I'm sorry.
Look at that. I mean,
not, like, what are you talking about? We know in private that's not really what you do. You have to go to some things.
He went into the forest for 7 days. He stepped over several bloods to step onto that stool. Yeah. So what are you talking about?
Was he fasting and praying in that 7 days?
I'm Orisha, He went to dine with them.
No. As somebody that comes from that lineage, let me tell you something. I've seen some things. There is no way. When my I was very young when my great grandfather was the king and he died. So they will call Oba the kids. They will call them and they will do as a jail, whatever. The things have changed. Back in the 80s, as a king, you wouldn't last 4 or 5 years before they get rid of you spiritually. There was no way you were going to be on that throne.
Do you know what the Yorubas believe that Je Oba means? Do you know what they believe?
No, I said they will cook the heart of the king.
Yes.
So they have to. What they do is they get 21 virgins. They will bury body parts around because this is what people don't know. When the king, let me just tell you the truth. When the king is doing his igbesi when it's hidden, right, for those days, is having meetings daily with the principalities and powers of those environments. Àwọn olóṣó, àwọn àìjẹ́, Ògbóni, Emere, because it's also their king too. People don't know. People think that it's just a king for regular people. No, it's also king for the people that you don't like. That they need his approval to do something that you might not approve of. So it's also meeting all those people. So there's more to just being a king than just what you see on TV, and that's unknown to most people. So but like you said, the king, they better get it right for the sake of the culture. They better.
Yes, they can toy with like you said, two stools. Don't toy with the honest stool, and don't toy with the Alaafin of Oyo stool.
Yes.
So the rest of them, you can use them to collect your dollars. But please, I mean, you even know now. Yeah. So don't toy with it, So don't toy with it.
It means a lot for because the Yorubas are the leaders of the black race, unknown to many people. I know people don't want to hear that, but when it comes to blacks globally, we are like the spiritual center of the black race, and you don't want to mess those two things up, please, for the sake of the culture and for the sake of black across the globe.
All right, thank you, Babati, for that. So let me take you next to the east, but let me take you via Alexander Gomez's super chat, who speaks to that space. I really can't see a Biafra nation if granted successful. It looks ominous per its recent antecedents, but I pray it does. Nde Iwo. So Nde Iwo, that means some form of apology in Eastern language, I'm sure. Thank you for the super chat, Alexander. So off the back of that, I'll take you to the space then, the unknown gunmen now surfacing to tell us exactly what their mission is, just as incoherent as their action, but the dovetail of it all is that they want the release of Nnamdi Kanu and they want our elections not to take place in the East. And those are the criteria that they require for violence to stop in the East. So since neither of those two are going to be met, so the violence continues essentially, Babati.
So how realistic is so I think we can at this point all agree that there are powerful people behind the so-called movement or whatever they call themselves. I mean, but the bigger picture is this, though. This is the bigger picture. With the way things are fast shaping in that country, do you really think that we're going to have an election? With the way things are, you're getting this vibe from each section of the country, and with the way like Tinubu is pretty much done in the party now. So you're having all these dissenting voices across the country, and you're having this gunmen thing demand. So if they disrupt the polls in the East, and you have this terrorist movement in the North, where would the numbers come from? Since the law says you must get 25% from each region, right? Yeah. So if you don't get in 2 out of 6 or 3 out of 6, then who declares you the winner? The courts. So these are things we need to look at. I don't see.
I foresee that there's still going to be a series of seismic events in the build-up to that election, both in the primaries, in the selecting or appointing of the candidates, both parties. So there's going to be some little joker that comes into play, some element that shakes up the space, both for PDP and APC. So you expect some rancor in that space. And then in the build-up to the election, you expect it to be extremely atrocious. And then the election itself to be just the most controversial we have ever had.
Right.
It's just going to be a mess all the way through.
Right, and with the do or die mentality of the average Nigerian politician, you know they're gonna turn into an ethnic and religious battle, and they might this time bite more than they can chew, because the people are already on the edge already. Let's remind ourselves of that. People are already on the edge. Just a few things might trigger, a civil war, and a coup might be inevitable in that country. I know I've said it here times without number that might happen, but the way things are going, especially if you, by the way, sorry, how on earth is Good Luck still opening his mouth in public?
Well,
I mean,
this is
no.
Are you anti Good Luck? We
No, no,
did
no,
the Good
no.
Luck battle yesterday.
No. Buhari is making Good Luck look like Angel Michael today. Like the audacity, the nerve, the unmitigated goal of this guy to open up his mouth to even speak in public just shows you how bad Buhari is. I mean, when Good Luck left, have we forgotten that quickly? When the man left office, it was terrible. We thought nobody could do worse than him, right? So how come it's now turned into some kind of savior all of a sudden that people are now trying to beg to come back? I mean, I mean, at least come back on PDP, APC, really? I mean, that I saw that video yesterday that they said people were begging him. I know they are sponsored anyway. They are sponsored by his friends.
Rent a crowd.
Yeah, like we want you to come back. I said nobody's saying that you should go. Nobody said that. So I mean, that just tells you how bad that country is. That Good Luck is still even relevant in today's market. That just tells you how bad that country is. But if we keep going this way, we might end up in a very deep trouble, very deep problem that it might actually break up that country. I hope not, but the way we are going right now, because at this point, anybody you pick right now.
Do you hope not that the country does not break up? Is that your hope?
From my tribal perspective, that I want Nigeria to break up, but not that way. I want a peaceful dissolution of the country. Let's sit down, amicably dissolve that place and just walk away. But I know it's not realistic. But that would be my own opinion. Let's sit down and let's talk about this, because people keep making this mistake of fighting for breakup of Nigeria. You should never fight for the breakup of Nigeria based on current problems. No, fight based on the initial agreement, not because we are fighting. That can easily be resolved by the UN.
Because we are not of free will, the same
right
country. Yeah,
not because of the current. No. Just say we never, because Egba, for instance, they were the last to join the union, right? In was it 18 whatever? They forced Jalake that time to maybe they tricked him. Egba was a country on its own, right? If unknown to many people, they had their own constitution.
Look at this guy.
Not even no. I'm giving no.
All right, I know where you're going. So let's bring Alexander Gomez in. So Alexander Gomez super tasked to say that Babati is an Egba prince, folks. So he has. So I never knew they had princehood in Egba. I thought it was Abule. Is it not an Abule with a Bale? Do you have an Oba or a Bale in Egba?
No. Funny enough, I'm actually...
Bale. No, what system do you have? Do you have an Oba or a Bale?
No.
I'm not aware that that's an Oba in
the Abbas, they have the Bales, but they have the ruling house. Unknown to many people, I'm actually of two priesthood from the Lara. I can go the Lara
maternally and paternally.
Yeah, so either way, someday I might show up and be like, Kavi, demand that you bow down for me on this chat.
Look at that.
But that would be my own. To be honest with you, let's have a discussion, roundtable discussion, and peacefully dissolve that space. Because look at the belief of the North, for instance. They are not going to change anytime soon. That's the way their mindset is. And you cannot grow with that kind of people. They don't have that growth mindset with them. So why even waste your time? Sit down with them, find a peaceful way to dissolve that space, and let people move on. That would be the best way to solve it. That country is not going anywhere. That's just the problem. So let's sit down and peacefully dissolve this space and just move on into our own country.
If it cannot be peacefully discussed, and if we are not yielding anything out of, you know, if it getting worse than this, and you see some people holding, grabbing, holding onto power, and doesn't want to negotiate, and so what would you do?
Nigeria cannot violently disintegrate because the body count will be too much. We're talking millions of people, not people.
Babati, what should we do if we have a situation continue this way? Negotiation cannot resolve the problem. What do we do?
See, that's you want me to say it, but you know exactly what we have to do.
Say it.
But it's going to cost life, like one man said.
Say it now.
You have to, because it's hard, because we actually have the resource. The South has the resources that these people are holding on to, which makes it more difficult. So if somebody is a parasite to your own resources, it will be difficult for them to easily just break away without violence. I know you want me to say it. It's going to be bloody.
Hey, well, when you see a nation that does not fit for any purpose, it's not working for anybody, you see majority of the tribal group are saying, okay, let us have restructuring. Nobody want to do restructuring. Let us do this. Nobody want to do it. Let us all the roads to, solving all the problem is not allowed by some group of people. So we just have to continue like that.
No, but that's the task before the Yoruba people, how to untangle themselves from this contraption, as they call it, but without resorting to violence. Because the price of violence is too heavy.
Okay, what is it? Tell me.
That's what we're still grappling. We're still grappling with it. We're still grappling with it.
No, you mentioned one. What is the road?
Well, we're still grappling with it. It's a question still inside. It's a question inside of an answer. It's a question inside of an answer. Yes.
Let me try.
Because you guys cannot even answer the question.
Let me try.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I said our own reason for breaking up Nigeria should not be based on terrorist attacks or it not working. It should be based on we saying that we never wanted to join in the first place, regardless of it working or not. It cannot be based on whatever is going on right now. It should be based on our initial interest that they didn't come to us for advice. There was no national consensus.
That is what is based on. Exactly, that is what the agitation is based for. It's not based on Fulani attack. It's based on.
But what Babati is suggesting is that is the space to attack.
Yeah, that would be more
effective. If we go and attack the actual formation of the country on the basis that it's not of free will, then that's more a way to untangle from the country.
Yeah, that is what the agitation is based on.
Yeah.
No, that is what the agitation is based for. Based on that. Amalgamation of Nigeria was fraudulent, and present structure we are running and the constitution was fraudulent. So they are talking about all these things. Let us write another constitution. Let us see if we can work together. Let us see how we continue as one country. Let us do it. Some people don't want it to happen. And
it's not an easy process, as I'm sure you can see.
No, what is not easy there? You just see some.
I'm sure you know it's not easy. If it was easy, then it would have been done.
Well,
if
some
it's easy,
people,
why has it not been done?
Well, yeah, some people want to continue holding on to power.
Well, there, that is it. So that makes it not easy.
And we cannot continue on that trend.
Yeah, but
we cannot be submissive to them.
No, it's not a matter of look. It's a matter of adopting positions and then finding out ways to actualize what your position is. So positions have been adopted. The Yorubas largely, they feel that the time is up on the Nigerian space. I think the Igbos somewhat agree with that as well. But the Northerners who have an umbilical cord of survival attached, especially to the wealth of the Southeast, they are hell and leather wanting to hold on to it. So those are positions adopted. So how do you then actualize your position is the next step. But I think broadly the Yorubas want out, broadly the Igbos want out, and broadly the Northerners want to hold on for reasons of money and expansionism. So that is where we are now in the attrition.
Okay. Yes. But what I'm just saying is that the earlier the better. They agree for us to sit together and let's see how we can work together. Let us chart, write a new constitution that will work for everybody. Otherwise, the country will be plunged into serious civil war.
You know, they are not going to agree that unless they are compelled to. But how do you compel them to?
That is what is going to cause. They don't want to agree. We don't want to agree. That the nation will be plunged into civil war. We can say, okay, we don't want it, but that is what is going to happen.
I don't think the nation will be, because if the nation was going to go into civil war, it would have already. Because
we've going to drag to that.
No, we've passed too many thresholds.
Forget about that. Civil war situations will lead to civil war.
No, we've had more than sufficient situations that has not led to it.
Oh yeah, okay. It will come one day now.
Well, no, I don't think it will.
It is going to come. It is going to come. When you see some people want to remain on top and want to control the resources and want to take what does not belong to them in perpetuality. Those people that their resources are taken, they will fight one day. They will stand up and say, no, we don't want it.
All right, let's hear from Baba Akure. Yeah, Baba Akure, you want to say?
I think the reason why it has not happened, because one man you mentioned that we've been to so many situations and nothing happened. It is because there is no unity between West and the East. Let's just say southern part of Nigeria generally. If there is any unity between them, it will cause what we are talking about, because they want to break away from Nigeria. So it is just because what we have been going through, it is not unanimously agreed between we in the southern part of Nigeria. If you want to recall the issue of Biafra, it is because the western part of Nigeria did not support them at that time. So if they support them, do you think they would have achieved that Biafra nation long time ago? But we state of things right now is different from that time. So you cannot really say, okay, well, because we've been to so many situations, nothing happened, and you want to compare it with the present situation. It will, of course, happen, one man, because I think there is a
okay. Look at what happened to look at what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. That was a tipping point. It did not tip. Look at what happened to Sunday Igboho. That was a tipping point. It did not tip. Look at what happened to the Fashion daughter. That was a tipping point. It did not tip. Look at what happened to Abiola. That was a tipping point. It did not tip. We've been through so many tipping points, and it never really tipped. Look at the Fulani savagery that went on in Yoruba land, still going on. That's a tipping point. It has not tipped.
All that are still politics. Just wait until this. Election of 2023. This issue of nomination. Just wait and let's see where the president is going to come from. Then you will now see the different part of different version of what we are talking about.
But
Let's wait until that time.
but that goes back to my initial point that's why the people that are talking about Fulani domination should be less vocal than people that are talking about the initial integration of the country in the first place. If you focus on Fulani domination and stuff like that, then it might lead to war. But if you say regardless of whatever you come with, we still don't want to be part of the country. We don't want any agreement. Just say we are fighting against the initial agreement to be together. That should be the focus. That would buffer us a little bit from violence, because that would negate the need to even have a conversation about any constitution of integration, because you know that they wouldn't agree anyways. Anything they want.
So that essentially is to internationalize the
right.
narrative.
Yeah,
yes.
Make it about Yoruba people being a country.
And then it's a United Nations matter, you know,
not
and
about
a legal
trying
matter.
to figure out. I think at this point we are past any kind of constitutional reform. We should be looking beyond.
No, even if they reform the constitution, they will only reform it.
They will still dominate. Yeah, they will
not change anything, but just reward it.
So you know that
like they ended SARS and came up with another team the next year.
You know that okay, if you're going to have a so-called reform, who's going to be the majority on that panel? They will still be the majority on the panel, right? So they will still influence what's going to be with the outcome. So my point is that as a Yoruba people, we should be making a case for the initial agreement to be together in the first place. That should be our priority, not fighting about what we get in one new reform Nigeria. That should be. We should be.
Are you guys not seeing sign of war in Nigeria already?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Are you not seeing sign of war in Nigeria already?
I am.
You are? Okay.
I am.
Yes. It is looming. You can see it. It has started right from the north. So saying that there won't be war, it is just a little thing. Maybe an attack on a village. Or an attack or killing of one person that will result into tribal exchange of killing. And before you know it, everything will implode. You look, look, the sign.
No. That's a doomsday prophecy.
Okay, no, I'm not prophesying. I'm not prophesying. We have seen. This is the way it started. Hold on.
Nigerians are inert. Nigerians are inert to the killings.
Okay, Nigerians are the same people. When you, this is the problem with us. We see the truth, we don't want to see it. Are we united people? Hold on.
No.
Are we? We speak in one voice? Are we united people? We are not. Yoruba will be saying something. Igbo will be saying different thing. Kalabari will be saying different thing. Hausa is saying different. Fulani is saying different thing. In the same country, we don't agree. That disagreement is now a disagreement. You don't look at the problem of that country. The problem has, graduated. What used to be problem, it has graduated into crisis. After crisis, we go into disaster. We're in a very serious crisis now in that country, and you don't see the leadership doing anything, to manage, to manage it is one thing, and not to make any attempt to manage it is another thing. But they are not doing anything. All they are after is their own interest. How they are going to lose.
There's no indication that Nigeria is on the precipice of a violent breakup. There is none.
There's none. You see, when you're already,
things that will tip it have happened severally, and it has not tipped it.
This time is different.
Okay, when you see already,
the last time it was different, and the time
no, this time is different. No.
How many thresholds have they passed and nothing happened?
Where you see already in the north,
yes,
Niger State particularly, that is close to your seat of power, is only the city of, what is the name of the city? Is it Minna? That is safe. Other part of that state is ravaged by banditry and this criminal. The same thing in Zamfara and all over the north, Sokoto and the rest of them. The northwest used to be safe. The criminality of what do you call it? Insurgency was in the northeast. Now it has spread all over the north. What tells you that it cannot spread to the south after some time? What tells you that? And when it's spreading, hold on. When it's coming down to the south,
forget all
and
that.
your people will
What's
receive.
happened in the north? What's happened in the north where it has been the situation for so long? What's happened?
What happened? What do you mean by what happened?
Oh, okay. For the last 5, 6, 8 years, there's been a relentless violence, ethnic-led in the north. What has happened?
Which is ethnic led? What do you mean by
when the
ethnic led?
Fulanis go and they savage the indigenous communities, and there's reprisal in Kaduna, in Benue, in Nasarawa, in Zamfara, all over the north. This has been happening for years and years and years and years and years.
Were the Fulani themselves not killed?
Well, yes, that's what I'm saying. So, but what has happened?
You are still, hold on, you are still in the same country, under the same umbrella. When the whole of the north captured by these people, you think they're not going to extend to the south? That's just alarming.
Okay,
don't worry. When they come to your don't worry. When they come to your
no war is looming. Don't worry about all that.
Okay, when they come to your Oyo, that is when you will know.
Nobody's coming to Oyo.
Abekuta, you see how many Abekuta Ilaro people?
No, wait.
You see Ilaro people, you know how many towns in Ilaro that have been ravaged and the people are living as refugees in Republic of Benin?
Yes, and what has happened?
This thing is coming. This thing is knocking on the door, and you are saying it cannot happen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is all these things have happened.
Don't worry, it's just happening. It's getting worse.
I'm not worried because I know nothing will happen.
It's getting worse. That's what I'm telling you. It's getting worse.
Happened for years and years, severally, and there's been no consequence. So there's no indication.
Is it not getting worse?
Don't worry.
Is it manageable? You said don't worry about all that. You will sit down in London. I will sit down in America. All of us will be saying nothing can happen. You see, our native land is being destroyed every day.
All right. We know that. What Babati is saying, it rhymes more that where we should be attacking is not this present heightened situation, which is what you are describing, but the birthing of the country itself, which was predicated on a falsehood. It wasn't we, the people, we're not willing participants. We never signed up to it, and we need to interrogate the formation of the country, not this heightened situation now.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And that is what I am telling you, that the agitators of Yoruba land are, that is their position. They are hammering on the amalgamation of Nigeria. They are hammering on the fraudulent constitution that we have, that and the structure of Nigeria. That is what they are hammering for. And for your information, this Baba that just demised, this Alaafin, according to some information, he wrote when this Yoruba nation agitation was at the height of this thing, before they came and savaged Igbo's house, he wrote a very strong letter to the Queen of England about the amalgamation and the deterioration of Yoruba land and Nigeria in particular. He was expected to meet the Queen before the COVID struck. So it was the COVID that prevented him from meeting. He would have met the Queen face to face. So you know that Baba had that document of everything with him.
So
yes.
why are we not discussing the constitutional reform at this point? We should have gone past them. Like if you agree with me, we should not be discussing any kind of constitutional reform at this time. We should be discussing peaceful dissolution at this point, not constitutional reform, right? If you truly like,
everything is I mean, you know, when you have plan A, you must have plan B. You cannot just focus. You can't just focus on one.
So
one objective. You know, plan A. When you have plan A, you must have plan B.
Okay, so give me A and give me B. Which one is A? Which one is B?
Okay, the A is that we have lived together for century now as a country, isn't it?
Right.
Since the Britain came and merged us together. That's over a century now. Okay. We have interwoven, we have known each other, we are married and stuff like that. But you know, everybody still knows, oh, this is my land, this is your land. So if we cannot structure the country the way the founding father of the country, the Awolowo, if we cannot structure it that way that work for everybody, then let us go our own way. I mean, that is plan A.
Mm-hmm.
If that does not work, then plan B is let us go.
Yeah,
we want to go because this union is not working for us.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
It's a forced marriage.
No,
in the first place.
Yeah, but this is my point. We just said that these people will not agree to your plan A. They're not going to change it to for equality. So I'm telling you that why even waste time discussing plan A when you know that it's not going to work in the first place? Just move to B and get it over with.
No. There's a way of doing things. Hold on. You can't just hold on, Babati. You can't just have plan A and you don't have plan B. Where you fully exhausted plan A and it cannot work, then you move to plan B. So
I know,
plan way,
you cannot pursue something that you know is not viable. Surely,
yeah, you know it's not going to work. Like,
it's not going. Okay, look at the way you are talking now. You say it's not going to work. Then, if we jump on Yoruba nation that you want to use, say, oh, these people are pursuing this thing. They don't even know the strategy to pursue. How can you break up? How do you want to break away? Hold on. It's you people where you say, oh, this is secession. You are pursuing secession. I mean, you are just why you are saying that is not a secession.
What needs to happen is for the Yoruba intellectuals globally,
right,
to pursue as Babati just suggested, the source of the country, the origin of this Nigerian storyline, to see how willing and complicit the Yorubas were in the formation of what the Easterners call the contraption. Because we don't believe we are of free will. Yeah.
When you say Yoruba intellect,
yes,
do they see things the same way? Are they all in the same boat?
Well,
hold on. Yes, of course not. You see, some Yorubas still believe that if we remain in Nigeria, if Nigeria work well, it is good for us. It's good for everybody. Some Yoruba believe that. You see some Yoruba feel Nigeria is not good for us again. Let us just go.
But those two strands of thought, they are not necessarily, and they do not necessarily have to be opposing. You know, you can walk and chew gum, as I often like to say here. You know, you can be, and I am not far in thought from those two paradigms as well. That if Nigeria works as a corporate thing with what the Yorubas perceive as Nigeria, it will be of a greater benefit to the Yorubas than a standalone. But really, the Yoruba nation is always the ambition of a true-born Yoruba. So you can have both. Because as a wish, yes.
Because
we have to manage ourselves because we have to. You have two ideologies here. We can manage ourselves in such a way that we work for both of for two sides. We have two sides in this contention now. Those that still want to believe, okay, let us pursue Nigeria that will work. And we have some say Nigeria cannot work the way they have seen it.
Okay. Do you think?
Let us marry both together.
Do you think the Yorubas who believe in one Nigeria, do you think they are opposed to Yoruba nation?
No, but they believe that if you jump, hold on. They believe that if you are jumping, hold on, Babati. They believe that if you are jumping into Yoruba nation like that, it could be termed as secession. And secession, you know what secession means. They believe, okay, let us pursue it in such a matured way that we can achieve result in such a way that, you know, if Nigerian state doesn't want to restructure Nigeria to work everywhere, for everybody, it will now jump into the boat of Yoruba nation. The international body will not see us as fighting a unjust cause, you know, because we have exhausted plan A, it couldn't work, then we jump into plan B. And if they want to say, okay, if they want to call us a secessionist, then we will present it before the world. Look at us, we are not secessionists. This is what we want. We pursue. They don't want it to happen, and that's why we are jumping into this boat of let us go. And then
the length of time, Ajande Koko, that Nigeria has existed as a nation has already covered that space. So you cannot say after 60, 70 years people have not tried, because the drumbeat for secession is only recent. It used to always been there, but it's really now really gathered momentum only of recent times. So nobody can argue that they did not try to make it work before they came there, just for the length of time that our country has existed. So if we move quickly now to
when was the last time? When was the last time Yoruba were calling for Yoruba nation?
I don't know.
Other than now, okay. So what are you saying, one man?
No, what I'm saying is that the argument to say that they should have tried to make Nigeria work is already covered by the length of time that Nigeria has existed. So if we jump quickly now to Yoruba nation, nobody can argue that you did not try to make it work, just for the longevity of the country, because it has existed for so long before people have now come to do. Yes. So that covers that argument already. Yes. So if we jump quickly now to Yoruba nation, there's no counter argument to say that why didn't you try to make it work?
Let me add to that as well. Let me add to that real quick. That's I say you should speak to the illegality of the country being called Nigeria in the first place. That should be the focus. That we were not supposed to be together in the first place. Once you address that issue, regardless of what you've done in the last 60 years, it will not matter.
But you have to really perfect that argument. That's the $1 million. That's the silver bullet. So we all agree that Nigeria should not exist, but you have to perfect the argument why it should not exist. So you have to perfect the arguments that you are not willing participants.
Then you go to the source.
And if you are not willing participants, then you are held against your will. Right. So that's where our argument is. If we are not willing participants, then we're held against our will.
Because we know that these people, when we sit down with them, they're not going to change anything. So why even bother? Why waste time? You already know they're not going to want to change anything. They will still want to be in charge.
And we have to present an open and short narrative to the international community.
You have enough 60 years. You have enough sample. You have enough.
And that is where the Yoruba intellectuals come in. This is their space.
Babati and one man. All your Yoruba leaders, all of them, you know their position on this issue. All your leaders, majority of them, except a person like Baba Akintoye, all your leaders.
Yoruba came out recently for Yoruba Nation.
Oh, okay. We just have we don't know. That one just came to Trump. Maybe they will go and warn him some few days after and threaten him, and he will back out.
You know what they do? They will hold a pistol in one hand and a bag of dollars in another.
When they go and threaten him now, you will see him. He will change his word. So, majority of your people, of your leaders, are still on the side that let us restructure Nigeria.
Okay.
Can I say something, please?
Yes.
Well done, everyone. But Adali Koko, it will look somehow to me if our leaders that we thought they should jump into this same boat, this gospel you are preaching, and many of them, they are not even looking in that way. Is that not cause for a concern for you that people don't want this? Do you
It looks like
understand
you
what
are
I
not
mean?
following the discussion, Thomas.
I do. Why? Why do you say that? I do.
Yeah, because your question, I don't really understand your question. What I'm telling you, what I'm saying here is that majority of Yoruba leaders are on the side that let us restructure Nigeria. That is where they are. So when you
Yes.
have majority of Nigerian of your leader on that side, how do you want to jump into Yoruba nation? That is
That's what I'm saying, that they don't believe in it.
No. It hasn't got to that time when they fully exhaust that, when they fully exhaust that agitation for the structure of Nigeria, if it doesn't work for them, and it's so clear that it doesn't work, I believe they will jump into plan B, that Yoruba nation.
Ajali Koko, when we get Yoruba leader, come 2023, everything will be better.
But to say we want to jump now, it is even difficult because majority of your leaders are not on that side. It is just some few.
If we don't get a Yoruba president in 2023, that will
maybe that will aggravate. Yes,
yes, that will fast track.
Yes,
because
thank you, one man.
We will not accept it. If we don't get a Yoruba president, we will not accept it.
That also means that we have work to do within our own Yoruba space. We have work to do within.
That's right. That's right.
Or even Tunde organizer from down the road. Just Yoruba. That's
yes. Yes. Particularly if the Northerner retain the presidency in 2023, it will.
That will help our case. That will help our case.
I think even if it doesn't come to Yoruba land, the Yorubas will not accept it now, because we fought so hard.
Not only Yoruba, the Igbo will not accept it. The South side will not accept it.
No, but I'm saying even if it goes to the South or the Southeast, the Yorubas will still struggle with that. Because it is our space. It is our space.
One man, Ajale Koko. They will give it to us. They will give it to us because they don't want to
go and sit down. But the mama saw here, but the song play Oshibajo only contest.
Ajale Koko. They will give it to you because they don't want. Ajale Koko. Let me speak. They will give it to you because they don't want Nigeria to break. So just take it. They will give it to you. But
it must come to Yoruba land. It must.
Yes, they will give it to Yoruba, one man. But if anybody is telling you today that Nigeria will break, go back to sleep. Nigeria is not going to break.
Look at that. Is that is that the same promise you made us about Oshibanjo?
Nigeria is not going to break. Nigeria is not going to break. One man, there is no leader that will break Nigeria. I repeat it to you. If we get
you repeated Oshibanjo now. Did you not repeat it? I said I repeat it. Mark my words. Ban me from the platform.
This guy, I didn't want us to believe him again.
Ajale Koko, one man. One man. I'm telling you, if we get Igbo presidency today, it's not going to break Nigeria. There is no leader. I will repeat it. There is no leader that will want Nigeria to break when he or she is there. So just take it, one man.
All right.
Even though Nigeria is not working, they will not let Nigeria break.
Thomas, it's not what the leader wants, it's what the people want at the end of the day. So he can demand that the country stay together all he wants. When people want something to happen, it will happen.
All right, thank you, Babati. So that's a good spot to round it off. We've hit the 2-hour mark. So as ever, always a delight in your company, gentlemen. You know, Baba Akure under his many monikers. He comes as Ashenishere Eleni.
One man, let me commiserate with Oyo before you go.
No, I just have to round up because I came to you first and I've gone past. I have to go do
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, no worries,
Maybe in the evening session I'll come to you. So I said,
Yeah.
and all this usual. So Baba Akure, of course, you know he's going to take the stool of Akure. Don't worry. We have 2 KBACs now, one from Akure, one from Egba land. And I, of course, the Bale of Akimori. So here you are, you in the midst of royalty. Ajaleko, of course, will be our subject, and Thomas will be the Akigbe because he likes to talk a lot of yam. He will be the Akigbe, you know. So there it is. Right,
no, I'll be Akoda. I'll be the Akoda. Akoda.
All right. So gentlemen, a real delight. So we reconvene in the evening again. If you have the time to spare, then come. Let's gather again and laugh and gist together. So I'll leave it there. High conversation and within the comment section. But here I say, peace.